So good morning. On my way to Site 1 in Dedham. Do a little hunter learning today.
Be like basically entry level electricity for irrigation. Who here's out in tech wise doing stuff in the field? Who here's comfortable with multimeters and testing things? Who wants to be? Come on, guys, come on. Who wants to know more about electricity? So this is good because when we come, I come out here guns blazing on our biggest systems, on our most complex systems. I sat in, I did a class of State Line, and Ken was there, and maybe even a few others. And we do all the hot rod product line that we have, which is our top of the line decoder system, which is what they were teaching you in Rainbird. And we lose a lot of people. Some of the people in there are like, I don't even know what this guy's talking about. And when I came into the business, decoder systems were just kind of hitting the golf market, kind of like in the late 90s. I worked for Bisco, which was this building right here. I started working for Bisco, and I was their golf field service manager. I only did golf, and that's all I ever did. Tom Marmelstein was the Hunter Golf sales rep, and we got a decoder system that Hunter had purchased to try to keep up with what was happening in the industry. And we sat in meetings, and you guys said, hey, this is the best thing coming down the pike here, the whole thing. And we went out and put it on golf courses, and we had no way to troubleshoot the damn thing. And it was rough. I mean, you can attest to the fact that we had a lot of...
Yeah, it was...
They were scary in the beginning.
Very scary. But, you know, we've been going around teaching this top of the line decoder system stuff, but what we're going to do today is we're going to bring it right down to the level of, you got to understand the regular meters and regular 24 volt controllers like these guys here before you can really even take the next step into learning it. But what we're going to do is try to get you guys prepped up for running into these two-wire systems, which are not going to go away. You're just going to keep seeing them. I mean, it is the future of the industry. The conventional systems with the multi-strand wires, their limit is possibly here, you know, and the two-wire systems are going to go here. So we're going to start off with kind of like just getting into the basics of stuff, touch a little bit on our, we have an entry-level two-wire system, which is called Easy Decoder, that we came out with about 6 or 7 years ago. And it's just a takeoff on our bigger system, but it gives the system the ability to be flexible, and you can add on to it. We can do different things with the communication and what we're doing is we're just sending numbers down a wire path, and then there's a box that communicates with those numbers, and it does something that it's told to do. Whereas the regular Pro Cs of the world, they just send out 24 volts, and if something's out there to turn on, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So we're gonna go with that, and we'll just touch a little bit on the two-wire stuff, and then a little bit on our central control stuff. Who here is using HydroWise? Some people. Okay, HydroWise is our cloud-based system. If you just came down with the last drop of rain, we've been selling HydroWise since 2016, and it's our biggest residential product that we have. Then we also have a Centralis program, which is basically for our bigger controllers the ACC, if you've ever seen that, the MCC now, which is brand new, and the ICC2, which is sitting right there. There's like big brother and little brother right there. So if you guys haven't done this already, Irrigation Pros, and what I've really kind of like rolled back this thing to just basic multimeter testing is because I, again, found out that I was kind of like overtraining some people and losing them. And again, my segue into the bigger decoder systems where you can't learn that unless you know how to do the basics, right? So we got to start with the basics before we can get to the bigger systems. So what I'm hoping you guys will get out of this, and again, this is a PowerPoint and it's all theoretical, but believe me, the theories and the practices that you will do here are going to work in the real world. I see in irrigation. We use resistance all the time. Since the first irrigation systems came out, somebody said, well, we got to figure out the resistance of this wire is, right? If you have a solenoid in the field, Jesus Christ, I made a mess of this, huh? Locked octopus. You guys gotta wake up. It's Wednesday. We only got 2 more days. Only another hour and a half of me, so then you can listen to Tom if you want to really get bored. So again, anybody know what this symbol is?
Ohms.
Yeah, Ken, you could say. Tell them.
Ohms.
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 Omega. Upside down horseshoe, whatever you want to call it. On the meter, you're going to see it. I'm going to pass this around so they can see it. So if you have a solenoid, right? Here's a Hunter solenoid I set up for troubleshooting. It's got a couple, I cut some meter leads off so I can use it to test things, right? My best friend, you almost don't, if you know what you're doing, you don't have a meter, guess what? You can test a lot of things with a solenoid, right? You can get probably 50% or 75% of the irrigation questions answered on a troubleshooting with just one thing, this. And it fits in your pocket. All wires have some level of resistance, and again, we talked about resistance, right? That's how much resistance that wire is giving to the electricity that's running through it. Smaller gauge wire, the higher the resistance, leading to greater voltage loss at the end of the wire. So if you have a 18 gauge wire and you try to go 900 feet with it away from the controller with 24 volts running on it, what's going to happen at the end of that wire? You're running out of gas. It doesn't, it's, you know, you would have to upsize that wire to 12 gauge to get almost 24 volts at the end of that. Not, I mean, I don't even think you would get that at a 12 gauge wire. Because 24 volts doesn't go that far. It's a distance is limited, right? 120 can go further, but again, it's not, it doesn't run solenoids, right? We can't use it on a low voltage system. Look for that upside down horseshoe. Ken, you can pass that on. I know what that is. Most irrigation solenoids that you'll run into in the field are going to be 20 to 60 ohms of resistance. Does anybody know here what Hunter solenoids read?
24, 25.
Yeah, 24, 25 ohms of resistance, right? On this. Oh, look, it even says so. So if I take that meter and I go across the terminals here, I happen to have another one. And my Vanna White over here, Connor, will tell me what the resistance of this solenoid is, and he will say it to you guys.
25.2.
25.2. I just tested this solenoid right here, and I know because that solenoid, I know what the value is supposed to be, so I just confirmed it's good. What if I was at the controller and I was testing the entire wire going out to those to the solenoid and then back to the controller again? Should I see 24?
Yeah.
Wires, that long distance of wire is going to just, it's a highway out to that solenoid. He gives me my resistance, sends it back on the other wire, right? It doesn't matter, okay? Whether I did it here or I did it at a controller here with a solenoid out by the driveway there. So You guys will hear the solenoid fire. I put my meter in milliamps, right? And I just go over the 2-wire path because I know that there's a station running out there. What do I got, Connor?
265 milliamps.
I got one solenoid running. I'm reading this right on the 2-wire path. This is actually a base 2-wire system, and I'm still getting that data. It's coming back on that meter, right? It's very simple. I know for a fact, if I'm standing at this controller and this decoder is way out somewhere in the field, and I run this station and I clamp on it, and I know this irretrievable solenoid is running about that range, I know this is pretty good, right? Very simple. Meter's telling you what's up. I can go on the black wire, I get the same reading, okay? 1 wire at a time, never 2. What happens if I put it over 2, Connor?
Nothing.
Caca-poo-poo, nothing. Thank you.
Hello.
Perfect. All right.
Makes it worthwhile.
So,
Remember, our lighting systems are like irrigation. We designed right around that.
all right, let's go. Sooner we get rolling, sooner we can get out of here. I've been with Hunter Industries for quite a while, 28 years, and I started in golf irrigation. That's kind of when I first met Chris. He's my brother from another mother. We get in a lot of trouble together, which is all fun. Worked in golf for about 5-ish years, and at that point they were building, I don't know, just about a new golf course every day in the United States. So golf was booming, and then golf wasn't booming. So I moved into the residential commercial side of Hunter Industries.
He has done every job that we have.
That's right. I'm the team player. So did residential commercial irrigation for approximately another 5-6 years. And in 2009, we purchased FX Luminaire, and I'll go into that in a little bit, but at first, we were just doing lighting only, so I jumped off of the irrigation side and I took on the territory of Eastern Canada to New England, all of New England, including New York State. And at that point, there were 0 sales, so you can have a giant territory when there's no sales. And it became obvious after a few years, because I'm really good, that we grew the sales, and it became kind of hard to manage that, because then it's a project over here, and then, oh, I got a little issue over here, and I ended up just, driving around foolishly. So about 2018, we took our team and we made hybrid salespeople out of our team. So now, instead of me going into a branch in Dedham with my FX Luminaire hat on, and then 10 minutes later, Connor coming in with his Hunter hat on, now he does irrigation and lighting, I do irrigation and lighting, our whole team does irrigation and lighting. So, if there's any questions ever on that, we do both. Only one that has one.
Ah, there you go.
That is true. That is true. So I'll pass this around. We just updated this remote after, when was the last update? 2014?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
A long time. So this remote has the LoRa radio technology, which I'll touch on in the slides, but you can pass this around. And it goes about 2 miles, so it's a much further distance. I know a lot of controllers these days are Wi-Fi enabled, so you're not using remotes, but in situations like hospitals, commercial properties where you can't use Wi-Fi, you're still going to be using remotes, or residential properties where they're in the Stone Ages still. Remotes are great.
HOAs.
HOAs, right, there's a bunch of different situations and it makes your job easier.
Blowouts.
Blowouts. What'd you say?
Startups.
Startups, mid-season
Work
checkups.
smarter, not harder. Why walk around when you don't have to? That's what I say.
Exactly. Who likes going up and down the stairs 20 times? Or 40
God forbid
times?
it's in the basement.
I don't know, it's getting me my steps,
Yes,
so
don't
I'm good.
install controllers in the basement. Avoid it. Okay, so this is the Hunter remote history. This is the first remote. Has anybody used this besides Ken? pretty old.
Yeah, that thing sucked.
So a lot of guys would carry in by the antenna, including myself, and that was a great way to break antennas. So I'd always reach out to my hunter rep at the time. I'd say, hey, I broke my antenna again, can you give me one? So
I used to get him at Radio Shack and take the thing to my local electronic guy, and he used to fix it.
wow, that's impressive. So from the ICR, we went to the Roam XL, which has been the current large remote. And then there's the regular Roam, which is very small residential properties. A lot of property managers will use these. But this is typically the remote you're probably most familiar with, and this is our new remote.
All right, well, we just finished up some more hunter learning at Site 1 in Dedham. Never too old to learn.